And we're live. We almost got Harrison Fagan fired for
Okay,
rambling
I would not
on.
have gotten fired.
Boy, you should see, like, it is a whole level of racy, but when the cameras aren't rolling, and Harrison Fagan was just spitting hot fire, and I had to wave at him to tell him that we're live. By the way, this is the Lakers Lounge podcast. The Lakers lost again to the Detroit Pistons, 111-91. It was a 20-point blowout that was even worse than that. I think we can describe it that way. Harrison Vegas, as always, joins us for the show. How are you doing, Harrison?
Harrison Fagan, not Vegas, but
I
uh,
said my Fagan joins us. They just kind of mixed together.
yeah, sure, okay.
Sure.
I'm doing good.
I don't know your last name.
Yeah, as he was telling you viewers, if we kept a swear jar off air, we'd be able to significantly upgrade our production value, but
Not
we
that
don't
you
have
want
that kind
to.
of cash.
Yeah, I mean, like based on some of the reaction when I got the new laptop and the definition got a little bit better, I don't think you guys want the production value to get it. It's a whole bunch of like, oh my god, he looks like that. He has all those wrinkles, bags under his eyes.
We'd at least have to invest in some CoverGirl or something.
Yep. All right, so enough talk about the behind the scenes show, because nobody really cares about that.
Probably
Like I
not.
said, the Lakers lose a extremely, exceedingly, painfully boring game. Like I remember, I legitimately thought to myself while I was watching, because there was also the and in the NFL, the Panthers and Saints were playing what was a really exciting game that went down to like the last play.
An
And
exciting game. What's that?
yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, man, I am not getting paid enough to watch this stupid game. This game sucks. That was my honest, immediate response to how terrible that game was. The Lakers, they were as depressing as downtown Detroit tends to look in some pictures.
Oh man.
Some pictures, not all of them.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm starting to get a little bit worried that they aren't going to make a playoff run. I think
The
I think
playoff
I just
push
saw they're
is
18 and a half games out. It's seeming more unlikely by the day.
it doesn't help. Like when you look at the standings, if the Lakers were in legitimately any other division that didn't feature the Golden State Warriors, like the standings are even more depressing. It's just like, yep, they're 57 games out. They've only played 20 games, but they're 57 games out of a playoff spot or of the division. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, you want a more depressing stat? The Warriors may have won more games in November than the Lakers will win all year.
Yeesh.
It's
Yeah.
possible.
No, that's a fun bet to make. I do. I don't think they actually. I think the Lakers will lose, or will lose enough to where that stat holds water the rest of the season. The Warriors winning streak will definitely be longer than the amount of games the Lakers win this year. I think we can go that far.
Yeah, well, it's already at what, 21 now?
Yeah. So if they keep going,
Yeah,
I
I
don't think.
don't. Somehow, I'm not seeing. I think their schedule started out the season easy, but then as of right now, they have one of the harder schedules left. I don't.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not seeing them making a run and winning 21 games at this point.
Good Lord, I miss when the Lakers were good.
That was a thing. It wasn't so long ago, but
Yeah, I was. There were Laker highlights on the other day, and I was like, man, I remember when the Lakers were good. It feels like forever ago because all this losing just is so taxing. But yeah, they were good once upon a time. Everybody who's watching, just stop watching this, go watch highlights, and it might be a little bit less depressing. I did find it interesting tonight that this is the first game all year all of the Lakers who were active got minutes in tonight's game. That's the kind of thing you expect in a 30-point blowout. But, man, it's really too bad Anthony Brown and Tarek Black weren't active, though.
It would be nice if the team's young players that have some upside were active, but I mean, what's the point in that? How are you supposed to foresee that a 37-year-old on a cold is going to go 2 of 11 from the field?
MJ, we
2 of
did not
15.
get.
2 of 15. Okay. I had not checked his shooting line in a while. 2 of 15. So Kobe got 5 points on 15 shots, and
This is breaking. This just he just missed another pull up jumper. Like that was crazy. I thought the game ended. He somehow just missed another jumper. Well done,
they
Kobe.
it's like they said that he wouldn't come back in the fourth quarter because of gastroenteritis or stomach problems or whatever you want to call it. You could have just pointed to the scoreboard, number one, as I saw the Kamenetsky brothers say. I don't know why they felt the need to make a specific announcement that he wouldn't be coming back in because he was sick. That's worse. And oh, he would have came back in despite leading the starters, and no, he didn't lead. Clarkson got more minutes than him, but he had 26 minutes already. He would have came back in with them being down that much, if not for those dang stomach problems.
Yeah, it was funny because there was like 7 different iterations of, yeah, this game made me feel sick too. You saw that scroll all the way down the timeline because yeah, this game sucked. The
Yeah,
Lakers
I guess he's
sucked.
getting IV fluids right now, they're saying. But it just really raises the question, what's the point in having him play at his age on this long of a road trip when they have another game tomorrow that I'm sure they're going to try and play him in?
Hmm.
And when he's sick. And when Byron even said before the game, I think he has the same thing I had, and I wouldn't have been able to play with this. So, well,
Yeah, man, Kobe's way tougher than I am. I totally wouldn't have played him. He plays 26 minutes, three quarters. It wasn't even like they played him sparingly either. Like I understand it. All
he
right, if you're
played the
trying to,
entire third quarter.
yeah, if you're trying to blow out this whole farewell tour and say goodbye, take every opportunity you can to say goodbye to the fans in each city. Okay, sure, play him a couple minutes here and there. The entire third quarter, Byron, you.
You can't make that. But he's going to say that he used him responsibly tonight because his minutes still aren't above the average.
Yeah, technically the minutes dropped on
Yeah, the
this.
minutes average dropped tonight. He got
Yeah,
Kobe some rest. That was good coaching.
his minutes dropped and his field goal percentage improved from 3 because he made one tonight. He went 1 for 6. Um,
Oh, man.
I was going to talk about Kobe's play, but we hit it there. I mean, he played way too many minutes in a game nobody's going to remember. So you got that. Clarkson, I thought this was easily the worst game he's played all year, going 3 for 11, minus 18 in the plus minus category. He had 3 turnovers and only 1 assist. Just not very good. I thought he was forcing things a little bit too as his shot strayed further and further away from decency. So, did you notice anything for Clarkson there?
Like you said, it looked like he was forcing things a little bit. I think the road trip's getting to everybody. He's gotten a lot of usage on this trip. He may not be ready for it at this point because he hasn't had that in the NBA as of yet, I guess. And, it's just long road trips get to everyone, that kind of thing. Everyone's going to have bad games. I thought, if I remembered correctly, he might have been worse against the Kings earlier in the year. I know there was an early game where he played he struggled around this level, but nope, actually he was good in that blowout against the Kings. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, this very well could have been his worst game of the year. He really struggled. He played pretty well the other night, but then got benched the entire fourth quarter, and things have not been looking good for Clarkson since I wrote the other day that he was the best player on the Lakers. I think I jinxed it.
Well done. You do. Now you got to write that like Byron is the best coach in the NBA so that he can get benched. Speaking of, you mentioned it in passing that the road trip might be getting to everybody and the frustrations might be getting to everybody. Getting benched probably sucked for Clarkson, or definitely sucked for Clarkson. I would hope it sucked for Clarkson. So you talk about the frustrations and everything. Nick Young, who I thought I had read reports today that he wasn't going to play tonight.
Byron Scott said not only that he wouldn't play tonight, that he would not play the next 3 or 4 games. as he tried new things.
um, I could see playing for Byron being frustrating.
He said that stuff. I tweeted it from the Silver Screen and Roll account during the game. He said that stuff. An hour later, he put Nick Young into the game.
He's keeping everybody on their toes.
He didn't want Detroit to install their prevent Swaggy P defense.
Yeah, that was probably the closest thing Byron's come to like actual basketball strategy, is lying to everybody that Nick Young isn't going to play and then playing him. Nick Young gets frustrated, pushes Anthony Tolliver for a play that I didn't find dirty at all. Like Tolliver went at the basketball. He didn't hit Young low. The foul was initiated near the basketball. So I believe
he went to go help him up after.
Yeah, it was weird. Nick Young was having none of that. Turned around and pushed / he basketball shoved him. So, and then, in the process gets kicked out of the game. I tweeted out that it really shouldn't have been that shocking that he wanted out early, because I wanted out early. I started looking for people to push in my house. I shoved my cat. Like, go. All right, I get kicked out, right? I don't have to do the show. That's how this works, right?
Oh, well, if PETA has their way.
All right. I full disclosure, I'm not even at my house. I'm at my parents' place. So
sure, that's better. So you pushed your mom, probably.
Yeah, my Mike Wilbon would be proud of where I'm recording this. This is pretty close to my parents' basement. So
are we just going to alternate shows where we record from our parents' house? But anyway. But yeah, Young, after the game, he said that he faulted himself for losing his cool. He admitted that he was overreacted, and he also admitted that he was surprised that he had played tonight after Byron had said that pregame. So that was kind of great. And then Byron also said that he thought Nick Young probably overreacted a little bit.
Right, and obviously he did. We know this, and my job is to read into these situations. The frustrations appear to be getting the better of the team. I think this was the first night that they looked, that because Detroit isn't 30 points better than them. I don't think. They're good. They're going to make the playoffs.
Beat them a month ago.
Right. So, they're all right. They're solid, but they aren't 30 points better than the Lakers. And the Lakers just looked disinterested in the game. They're just, all right, guess we got to play again.
It seemed to be kind of going through the motions. I think that goes to not only the frustration with the record, but the fatigue as well.
Mm-hmm. And these road trips, they have to be tough, right? It makes sense that they'd be tired. And like I said, playing for Byron Scott just sucks. It can't be fun.
It does lend some credence to the argument that a lot of the reason that the team was playing so hard last year was for their own contracts rather than anything that Byron Scott was motivating them to do.
Right. So,
because now we have a lot more guys on multi-year deals and they see the record and it's just kind of, all right, like you said, we got to play again tonight and we're going to get our asses kicked and it's not going to be fun.
And I have to look at this guy try to coach me with his arms tied in front of him. So, it's this game. This team is getting really, really. Something needs to happen. Whether it's maybe a personnel move, maybe it's firing Byron, but you kind of worry about the level of frustration that appears to be mounting around the Lakers, and for a bunch of young kids, like, well, if they go out, if we get some TMZ video of Julius Randle knocking out a Celtics fan. All right, we found a link. This is what happens. All right.
Some wild speculation from Anthony Irwin. I cannot stress this enough for those of you listening. That was Anthony Irwin.
Yep. Send the complaints to my Twitter. I won't read them. In terms of what the Pistons were doing today, again, the trend of point guards killing the Lakers continues. Reggie Jackson, 6 of 13 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line, 2 of 2 from 3, 6 assists, 20 points, was a plus 20 rating, 3 steals. Just a really solid game from somebody who I wanted the Lakers to trade for last year. That would have been, and you're seeing that he's starting to really, the contract he signed looked kind of crazy, but he appears to be earning it this year, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, he gets to run just such a steady diet of pick and rolls with Andre Drummond that it really him sucking defenders down the lane when he rolls, when Drummond rolls, really frees a lot of things up for Jackson, and teams will go under on screens a lot of the time, and that gives him a lot of free looks.
This team,
and so I would say that had the Lakers signed him, number one, they probably wouldn't have drafted Russell, or it would have meant that they didn't draft Russell. And number two, they would not be running, as we've seen, this steady diet of pick and rolls with shooters spacing the floor for him. So he probably would not be playing quite at the level that he is in Detroit right now. But yeah, he was absolutely a good option for them to take a look at.
This is really easy analysis, but this Detroit team reminds me a lot of those Orlando Magic with Dwight Howard.
Stylistically, they're super similar.
They're like the same team. Andre Drummond is a monster. You have Reggie Jackson playing the Jameer Nelson role. You have a whole bunch of shooters around him. They're really, really good. They're really good. Anything else before we hit the road here? Short show. It's a Sunday night. Enjoy your football. Anything that you have to talk about?
I just wanted to say that I thought Russell looked speaking of point guards not being able to look good on this team, I thought Russell looked pretty good tonight. And I really, more so than that, anyone that looks at the box score could kind of tell that Russell and Randall had a pretty good game. But what I really liked from Randall was that he came out tonight and he was really, really struggling. I think he had like 0 points and maybe 1 rebound in the first quarter. It was not great. And then he came out in the second quarter and had a double-double by the end of the half. And so at least you're not seeing them completely quit. And they're showing some good stuff. And he only played 24 minutes tonight and ended up finishing with 15 and 11.
I believe this is Randall's second double-double of the year. I believe it's the second double of the year. Maybe more. Probably more. But no, he continues. He and all these young guys. That's why it's, patience when you're grading rookies, when you're figuring out how good a rookie is going to be is pretty key. They continue to improve, and it would have been nice to get a few more minutes in there. But I guess on a road trip where these guys are going to play heavy minutes anyway, I'm guessing Byron Scott managed their minutes, even though he refuses to do so with the guy who should be managing minutes. And none of this makes any sense. I'm just rambling at this point.
I'm getting one last little note. Two last little notes, I guess. Jordan Clarkson, I guess, criticized himself for playing selfish tonight. So that kind of goes, again, what you were talking about, where it looked like he was forcing things a little bit. So I guess he did acknowledge that. And I also saw amusingly that Tankathon just told friend of the show, Ryan Calipier, that Los Angeles is second only. The Los Angeles area is second only to Philadelphia in terms of the traffic that they get to their site.
That's great. That's phenomenal.
The tank watch is real.
I'm gonna have to start another Team Tank account. All right, Team Tank 16. We're coming back. Thanks, Harrison.
All right, thank you, Anthony.